Well, hello there. It's time, of course, for another book haul. I've got this big stack of books next to me. We've got some special editions, some trade paperbacks, a vintage paperback, all in a mix of science fiction, fantasy, and a couple of horror. So, let's get straight into it. The first book on my list is a bit of a rare find, and I was able to pick this up cheap on eBay, so I found a lucky bid on there. I was actually the only person to bid, so I grabbed this one for $10, which is a really good deal for how rare this book is, and it is Mirror Shades, edited by Bruce Sterling. So this one is a very early, one of the early cyberpunk short story collections. Bruce Sterling was very important in the beginning of the cyberpunk movement and kind of popularizing that. And this Mirror Shades copy went a long way towards doing that. Bruce himself does not have any stories written in here. He's just the editor. He has written books like Schismatrix, and I do have a Schismatrix overview and review in another video if you want to check that one out. But I really like this copy. So the mirror shades are, it's kind of a shiny, reflective material to it. Kind of really adds to that cyberpunk feel, and I like the rainbow colors. So this is a really nice copy. So I'm glad to have picked this up, and for relatively cheap. And the next couple of books I'm going to talk about are some horror novels. I do like reading horror and fantasy. I mostly read science fiction. Occasionally I go into the other genres as well. And so I picked this one up, Sinophagia, which is a celebration of Chinese horror. And this same editor has a collection called Synopticon of Chinese science fiction. And they also published this book as well. And I picked this up off of recommendation from Robin at Bookspin. He had a video, and I believe he interviewed the editor a couple months ago. So if you want to check out Robin's channel over on his channel is called Bookspin. So yeah, I'll be interested to dip into this. And the next one I have is a really cool book, and I know there are a lot of science fiction collectors out there that collect the old vintage Ace doubles. They have the two stories in one. Well, Saga has now started publishing the Saga doubles, and their first one is a horror collection with Stephen Graham Jones. It's got Killer on the Road and flip it over, The Babysitter Lives. So I really think this is a cool concept. I love the doubles concept. I actually don't have any Ace doubles. I'd like to start collecting them, but it's just something that I haven't started doing yet. But with Saga just now starting these, it's a perfect time to begin the Saga doubles collection. And they do have another one coming out fairly soon, another horror. And then in October, they will have a science fiction double. So if you're interested, you can look into that and check these out. And I do plan on reading this one in October. Yeah, it's kind of a spooky October read. So these next two books, I actually won. I got these in a giveaway on Instagram, so thank you to Orbit for sending me these books. And the first one is, I already have a copy of this, but it's the Broken Binding UK hardcover edition. So this is the Orbit US cover, trade paperback. So I do like both covers, the UK and the US. So even though I've read the book, I own the book already, a different edition. It's nice to have both copies, and since I got it for free, you know, why not? Why not keep it? But I really like the striking cover on Shroud. And I also won, as part of that giveaway, The Two Lies of Faven Scythe by Megan O'Keefe. I have not read any Megan O'Keefe yet. She also wrote the Blighted Stars trilogy. I have the Blighted Stars. I have not read it yet, but I'd like to read it soon. And this is her newest book, which is also a space opera. So glad to add that to the collection. And these next few books are all special editions. And we'll get started with Mickey 7, and this is a Broken Binding edition. I really, really like this cover. This is just a fantastic artwork. It's got the painted edges. Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. I have read this. I enjoyed it. It's a light, fun read. Kind of meant to be entertaining. There is a movie that was recently made based on this, which was called Mickey 17. And this, of course, has the interior illustrations, signed by Edward Ashton, and the last illustration on the back. So really nice artwork, and this is just a fantastic edition. I love the cover. I love that cover. That's just, and this, so if you've read the story, so this says Mickey 7. It's hard to tell on here, but it also says Mickey 8, but it's kind of like a shiny. You can only see it at certain angles in the light. But if you read the book, you know why it says that. But definitely a recommended read. I'm glad to have this copy. So the next few books are going to be some fantasy novels. I do also collect the fantasy Broken Binding subscription. So the first one, Black Sun. That's a really, really stunning cover right there. Haven't read this one. I would like to soon. Yeah, I don't know much about it. Other than that, it's a fantasy novel. But yeah, that's a really, really nice. And this one's not signed, but it does also have the interior illustrations. And then next up we have the Rift War Saga. And this is also a fantasy novel. This is a classic fantasy that has been redone by the Broken Binding. Really nice artwork. And I also, so this is the second book in the Rift War Saga, and then this one is the third. So these two go together with, of course, the first one. But yeah, really love the covers on these. Just some fantastic artwork. And so this here is actually a giant dragon. It's a wraparound cover here, and it's got the interior illustrations. Wraps around to the back. So really, really cool. And if you're able to sign up for the Broken Bindings subscriptions, I would recommend it if you like special edition books. And they are a little bit expensive, especially if you're in the US, you have to pay for shipping, but they're worth it. So these next two books, also special editions, they come from Subterranean Press. And these are from my favorite author, Alistair Reynolds. Starting with The Dagger and Vichy. So I did have a review of this. This is a novella. I have a review of this on my channel if you want to check that out. Really, really fantastic novella. Just came out this year. It's set in a future medieval France, if that makes sense. Yeah, the future has regressed kind of to a medieval period, and it's got remnants of ancient technology in the story. Really interesting, unique, creative novel. I would recommend it. This one is signed by Al. So I'm really glad to pick this one up. This one was, it wasn't too bad. It was $40 if you're in the US. And then, of course, we have Subterranean Press's Absolution Gap from the Revelation Space trilogy. So they have been publishing all the Revelation Space books, Revelation Space, Redemption Arc, and now Absolution Gap. And this is, I mean, they're huge books. Cloth bound. They got the wraparound cover. This one is signed as well, and it has interior illustrations. If you've read the novel, you will recognize the scenes from the illustrations. Let me see if I can find one for you. So they have, I think, 5 or 6. They have 5 or 6 interior illustrations. So there's one. I won't show them all, but let's see if I can find my favorite one. So this is probably my favorite illustration. The only thing I don't like is the illustrations are kind of hard to pick out from the book. So if you're looking specifically for them, they're a little hard to find through the pages. But yeah, that's these are really high quality editions. Very expensive, but Alistair Reynolds is my favorite author, so worth it. For me, anyway. And that's from the Subterranean Press. And the Subterranean Press produces quite a few different special editions of mostly science fiction and fantasy. So, and they're based in the U.S. and Michigan, I believe. So, if you want to check them out, they have a ton of signed books and really high quality editions out there. If you want to check them out. All right, and that's it. So, I think we had 11 books we went through here. So, nice little book haul. I'll probably have another book haul sometime, maybe the beginning of October. So my area here, we have a big library book sale every September. So, and I always get a ton of science fiction books there. So hopefully we'll have another book haul in a month and a half or so. But for now, got these 11 books, special editions. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.